Good afternoon, dear audience. This will be a microscopic examination of 5 slides. We'll make it quick, as I have several important plans for today, and so I'll do it in a hurry. We have not taken a microscopic examination for quite some time because science was not in our top priority recently, unfortunately. But it's a great team. That's the way it is. What can I say? Also bad news, the Microscope was damaged like in the מעבר דירה פה עכשיו לאשקלון, like in the moving, it was damaged and it's even like in a worse condition than before. This is bad. It's already, it's done. It's ran its course. Like it's like an artifact, like a secret artifact by itself by now, with all the amazing things that we've discovered with this thing. But we need to buy a new one, and that's a problem because these things, they cost like at least 1,000 shekels. If I want something that is at least as decent as this one, but realistically 2,000 shekels, and I don't have like even money for schnitzel, okay, for sardines. So it's a problem. But for now, we will make do with, שפצור מכוער. But yeah, it's like it's in the end, like it didn't survive well the moving, but we can still use it. So it will be viable for today, for the purpose of today. What we actually want to see, like this is like what I call like a regular fleet examination, which means just for time to time, I just take just shallow examinations of the current containers that I have in my possession, like what I call like the main containers. Now, currently, we only have main containers. We don't have like secondary containers, so we don't need to expand the distinction between main and secondary because we only have main, and we have very, very few of these. Actually, we have only 4 main containers, and they are all like almost completely replenished. But first of all, if the situation is good in this container, it's still good enough, to do like another kind of legion deployments to the empire and from the empire. So we surely, if this goes well to today, that's why it's another reason to actually verify that it's actually okay, because until now I had much more than that. Not much more, but considerably more. But I spent all of it in the last 2 weeks. I just burned it. So, but if the situation is okay with what we've got now, it's still enough, for like a regular, lazy legion deployment. To Judea. I'm not saying איך קוראים לזה? טוטנברג, איך קוראים לדבר הזה? No, not like that, like to Germany or Galia, but yeah, for Judea it's enough, for these guys, the Judea people, they didn't change much since forever. We know what to expect, so it should be enough. If it's okay, and I can already tell you that it is, don't worry. So if it's okay, then we have enough for the deployment of the legions, like one simple deployment of the, to the Roman Empire, and to and from the Roman Empire, and also of course we will create more. Of course, the same way that this was created, not from the sheet, no. But so let's check it out. So what we actually have is. So this is a remnant of the old, fleet that I've taken from Rishon LeZion. Actually, we have very, very few of that. That's the way it is. This a remnant of the fleet, of all the things that we've taken. We had maybe 6 liters of that and almost nothing left. This was used for all the deployment in the last months. This kind of mixture. Yeah, the history of the mixture, let's leave it now. But anyway, it's from Rishon, the one that taken from Rishon. The other 3 are the result of various experiments that I've taken in the last couple of days, maybe last week or so, that are made of remnants of the same material, here from the Rishon. And I've taken I've done several experiments with that, not incredibly important ones, and I don't want to get into it. It's not tremendously important, but I've had several experiments. So. And we also have much more of that because it was also replenished with more oil. So we have much more of the new material that is based on the old material than what's left of the old material. So let's take a look at that. So we'll start with two samples from this one, then another from this one, another from this one, and we'll finish with another from this one, from the old fleet. If you remember correctly, if you recall, I just, when we finished our science business like 2 months ago, or like 1 month and a half ago, I've just replenished, not replenished, I used depleted all the methylene blue, and also the aerosine Y was kind of like, left like in the last, drop or something, and even the aerosine Y, I can't find it now, like maybe I lost it in the moving. That's my life, I always, מרגזים, מעברים, כל הזמן גונבים לי דברים, לוקחים לי, הולך לאיבוד, זה החיים שלי, וזה לא סתם ככה, זה בכוונה ככה, כי אני אמור להיות כזה נווד של מונופול כזה עם הזה שהולך עם מקל והזה, כדי להיות עלוב נפש וזונה מטונפת. Anyway, we don't have the stains, so it will be like, without staining, which is scientifically it's not like a huge thing, but it's a little bit, less exciting, when we get a little bit less, considerably less contrast. And the ability to actually detect like details that we regularly have when we use the stains. We need to buy new stains. The problem is that I don't know how to buy it in Israel. I bought the last ones like maybe 2 years ago, 2 years ago from Amazon. But I don't have credit card now. I don't even have credit card. And you can't buy with cash like in Amazon. And I don't know where they sell it in Israel. Like in Simada, where I buy the slides, like in Holon, they don't sell that stuff. Even though they have like huge assortment of like laboratory thing, but they don't sell this stuff. Presumably this thing, the aerosine Y and methylene blue, maybe they're considered like special material in Israel, because even if the Simada, they don't sell it. And I don't know if you know of any other places you can just go and buy this stuff like with cash on cash on the nail. So please tell me, and because I really need to buy these things, it's incredibly important. It should not cost much. Like the two together should be maximum 100 shekels. But the problem is that you cannot buy it. You cannot get it anywhere in Israel. Aerosine Y and methylene blue, just two chemicals. It's not like something special. It's used like widely in laboratories all over the world. I don't know why it's so difficult to find it in Israel. Eretz Kaka. Okay, so let's start, and we'll do it very shallow way because I want to kind of move to other stuff that are on the table today. So we'll do it very shallow. It's not going to be a surprise. Almost 100% certain that we will see Neros, like considerable amount of Neros of T in all the 5 samples. I can tell you, confidently. But the question is, and we will almost certainly that we will see no life forms at all, or 0 life forms, or maybe I don't know. If we see life forms, it's probably of alien type, not Earth type. Because it was subjected, because of how it was stored and how it was, and the mixture itself, and it's not going to contain air stuff like Earth microbes. I can this is almost guaranteed 100%. But maybe there will be some kind of alien life forms. To my estimation, very little to none. But the question is still, do we actually see life forms? Maybe, I don't know. Probably not, almost certainly not, but maybe yeah. And also, how many Neros and of what sizes we're going to actually watch. So let's take a look. We'll start again. 2 from this one from here, 1 from there, and 1 from here. So we use the old, Bristol 1 microscope, 64 magnification. Just a second, maybe. רונדי. הבנתם מה קרה פה? זה בעצם רונדי. עכשיו כל ברור, רונדי. 64 magnification, let's start. The camera is, the standard camera of, the iPhone 13. Just use the, above the eye lens. חורני, אבל מגיע לזה פרס נובל, אז תהיו בשקט. Okay, immediately we see Neros. Quite a bit of, smaller kind. Again, when we use the word small in this channel, I know we have new audience today, so I'll explain. When we use the word small, This is true both to Neos, like to what you call the typical Neos, and also to almost all, and also to the alien life forms. That when we use the word small in this channel, with regards to such things, or big or medium, it should not be like understood like within the context like of like regular measurements and standard of humans, like in Earth, like Homo sapiens. Like what I call small is gigantic, like by your standards. Like don't expect to find things that I call small like in huge quantities. Like don't expect you to find it in your shit or your pee like in huge quantities. No. Because again, when I say small, I mean gigantic in your standards. And when I say medium, I mean colossal in your standard. And when I say big, I mean Cthulhu level, like Cthulhu like league. Big is like Cthulhu league, like by your standards. Nice. We do see, also we see Neos. Definitely we do see, quite a bit of many of the small to medium, small to medium sizes. Quite a bit. This is good enough, I can already tell you this is good enough for for the Legion. Again, it's not burned like that. It's burned like in the field, like it's burned like with the kind of post processing, which is significant and also significantly like it both changes the composition. It depends on what we do, and also it greatly increase the volume. Like so actually it's not that small like you might think. Like it's almost like just to say all past deployments in the last certainly in the last months, we used like raw material in smaller quantities than the entirety of what you see here. Okay. Just to say that the raw material that we used in the last, like in each of the deployment, in each single deployment, like individually, is maybe 10% smaller than something like on average 10% smaller than the entirety of what we have here. So we have here, probably what we have here, is enough, for regular deployment, like of the type that there were several deployments, but average on the last months, like. What we have here, probably together with what we of the initial results from the microscope, I can tell that what we have here is enough raw material for, on average, like a deployment that we have, of the type that we've done in the last months. Of course, the next deployment will be actually use less material because we waste everything. Like when we give it to the legions, and we want to keep at least half. We need of that will be kept just for future experiments. So the raw material that will be used for this deployment will be smaller than, I would say, usual, but not significantly smaller. Not significantly smaller. Smaller, but not significantly smaller than, I would say, the average of the last couple of deployments. We use non-standard covers, like the long ones that are taking, that completely, like glass covers that completely, that cover the entire, standard slide, because just, ישראלים אוהבים מנות גדולות, בצלחות גדולות, אז גם ככה, שתביא כזה שטח, תכסה את הכל, מה זה הקוביות האלה שמשתמשים במעבדה? תביא כבר אחד שמכסה את הכל, מה, but this is not the standard actually. And it's actually have several limitations. I also have the smaller ones, but I mostly use the bigger ones. So not much to see. It's okay. It's like a fine thing. We don't see monsters, but we don't see life almost all, and we don't see monstrous neos. We don't see the huge fleets. But this is to be expected, because in order to create the huge fleets. We know that. We need. From experience, we know that for the larger fleet, different kind of like symbolic construction should be created, should be done, and this is well documented in this video. So I did not expect to find samples of the big fleet here or the huge fleet. This is totally, it's pretty predictable because of the way that it was created. I was expecting to get a reasonable amount of a reasonable assortment of medium to small, of the medium to small fleet, which is exactly what we get. I'm not disappointed, not particularly surprised, but not disappointed. And of course we have quite a bit of that. This is from the big one that is almost up to the top, and it's always mixed. So it's pretty much statistically given that everything is everything is like that. But because this is the larger one with the most material, I've taken another sample from that, so we'll actually watch another sample of that. But before that we do it, maybe we'll just zoom in a little bit. Some people, they like the zoom style, so they like zooming. They like, please zoom in, one want to see bigger, I can sympathize with that. אני עשיתי חזיר, פתאום אני מסתכל עכשיו על התמונה הזו של קרן פלס, וזה נראה לי קטן עד בינוני, ואני כזה, בוא'נה זה חזיר, פעם זה היה נראה לך ענק, וכאילו, הבעיה שכאילו, גם כאילו, כי התחזרתי, וזה גם עם הגיל, וגם הניסיון בנטורל, הוא הופך אותך לחזיר. What can you say? So, זה קורה שהדגדגן לא מחוייל. שנייה. צריך בעדינות לטפל בזה, ואז זה מתיישר. אוקיי, just a second. Okay, better now? Yes, great. This is 150 magnification. This actually is a nice neo, not that big because it's 150, but not small. And again, small and big by my standard. By your standard, everything that you see here is humongous. Everything, point. Everything is humongous. But I use my own standard, not your standard, which is, good for, presumably, microscopic apes at best. הייתי יכול להיות מדריכה בכרם מהר"ל ובכפר הירוק, נכון? Okay, not much. We see good, assortment. Not surprises. We don't see life forms. We don't see anything that is special. It's not a huge assortment, but it's a reasonable assortment and it's consistent throughout, the slide, the sample, and so it's good. It's fine. It's not amazing, but we didn't expect any result because of the nature of the experiments and how it was created. This is 600 magnification. Sometimes it's difficult. This is the higher the magnification, it's difficult to kind of to watch stuff, but maybe we can be able to focus. So okay, this is okay. We see stuff. What you can do with 600 again is that you can actually touch the lens touch the glass with the lens and then create flow. Let's do it. Okay, so we see things flowing, including neos in the dark. Fine, good enough. Okay, so the slide is out of the... בגלל השקלוף הזה, השקף יצא החוצה, so let's handle that. So we'll take a minute and so we'll continue with the other four after I kind of fix this unfortunate blunder here. Unfortunately, it's totally predictable because it's it was damaging the moving. So it will take me a couple of minutes to at least to fix it. So in the meantime, let's stop the video and upload it to YouTube, and then we continue with the second part of this examination.